Good morning. Later than normal. I slept in a little bit. I got up at 6:30 and then I literally just kind of like sat and did nothing. I read about 10 pages in my book and just sat and did nothing. I could have finished my book, but I love it so much I kind of want to spread it out a little bit. So I'll be finishing that this week, and then I think I'm going to read a quote book next. So I'll share that with you moving into next week if I find any cool quotes. It's a quote book on mindfulness. So that being said, today is Sunday. My body is shot from doing a lot of yard work yesterday. If you know me, you know that if I decide I want to do something, I just like obsessively do it. So we have these big mounds of stump in our yard from some like 50-year older trees in our yard that got cut down and then ground up. So we have these huge mounds, and I saw it just kind of sitting there and eventually growing weeds and grass. So I started moving them the other day, and my back muscles are awake now. So anyways, that being said, today these 5 minutes are going to be 5 minutes of different stretches or bouts there in terms of timing. So let's start. We're going to do the roll down, just a couple of these. So inhale nice and tall, exhale chin to your chest, rolling your body, folding your body in half, just hang towards the ground. So let your head move up and down a couple times. Take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Make some tiny circles, loosening up through your shoulders. Feel that stretch all the way up your calves, hamstrings, glutes, and then down your spine. Take a nice deep inhale, and then exhale yourself back up to standing. Engage your abdominal muscles on the way up, shoulder blades back and down. 2 more like this. Inhale tall, exhale chin to your chest. Let your body start to hang towards the ground. Let gravity pull you into that stretch. So we're not over stretching here. We're just letting gravity decompress our spine. Take a nice deep inhale. Feel that stretch to the back of your legs. And then exhale, belly button to spine. Engaging your abdominal muscles on the way up. So you can still engage muscles while you're stretching. We'll do 1 more here. Inhale tall. Exhale chin to your chest. And then just let your body again sink to the ground, using your exhales to hang a little bit closer towards the floor. Take a nice deep inhale, and then exhale yourself back up to standing. And then from here, we're coming to the edge of our mat or our space, whatever space you have, standing up tall, rounding out your body again this time. But then as you come to the ground, we're walking out into a downward dog. So you've got your hands planted on the ground, your hips lift up towards the ceiling. I like to think of it as trying to tap the ceiling with my tailbone, framing our head just between our biceps. And then let's bend one knee, pull the other heel towards the mat. Might not touch the mat. Mine don't touch the mat here. And then just switch. Bend the opposite knee, other heel reaches down towards the mat. 1 more on each side like this, stretching all the way up from your calves to your glutes and your hamstrings. If you're like me, let's switch feet, and you've got plantar fasciitis, this is a really good one to stretch your calves to help with that pain in your foot. So let's reach both heels towards the ground. They might not touch the ground. Lifting your tailbone to the ceiling. Chest presses towards the top of your thighs. Your head again is framed right in between those biceps. Take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, lower yourself down onto your knees. From here, we're going into that pigeon stretch. This is one of my absolute favorites. We're going to bring one leg straight behind us, other foot, you just bring it over in front of your thigh, that lengthened leg, and then slide your weight back to where you feel that stretch through the front hip, so the hip of the bent leg. Keeping your spine lengthened, just let yourself sink into it towards that leg, trying to keep your weight evenly distributed so we're not leaning to one side. Just keep yourself as even as you can as you lower that chest to the mat, feeling the stretch again through the hip of the front leg. Keeping your chin away from your chest, feel that length in your spine as well. As you exhale, sink a little bit deeper into it. You might slide that back leg back a little bit more, and then come back forward. Hands and knees, lengthen the other leg out. Front foot comes slightly in front of your thigh. Press back here, sinking into that other side. Now, we're not always, and actually typically not always even from left to right. We just like you write with one hand and not the other. So if you feel more flexible on one side, that's okay. You don't need to push yourself to be the same amount of flexible on the other side. So again, exhale into this stretch. I forgot to mention, grab a strap or some sort of a piece of clothing or a towel or something for our next stretch. So let's bring ourselves back forward. My strap is hanging up, so I'm going to just grab my sweater here. Resting on your back. We did this one the other day, but I love this for my back. So resting on your back, place whatever you have handy. This is just a cardigan. Be in the arch of that lifted leg. And then relaxing through your upper body. You're not tugging on that strap. You're just putting a little bit of a pressure so that you can feel a deeper stretch all the way up the back of your leg. The leg on the ground can be bent, or pending your flexibility and just what's comfortable for you, can lengthen that leg. Keeping our spine lengthened, back on the ground. Just take a few deep breaths. Every time you exhale, try and breathe into that stretch a little more. Again, we're not tugging on whatever that band or strap is we have. You're just putting a little bit of attention there to get a nice stretch all the way down from your calves to your glutes and your hamstrings. So calves, hamstrings, and then your butt is your glutes. Relax through that upper body. If the bottom leg is lengthened, try and get your calves to the floor. And then let's switch legs. Other leg lifts up. Again, your flexibility might be here. It's going to be different from left to right. It's going to be different from person to person. The leg on the ground can be bent. That'll give you a little more support, especially if you feel any pulling in your back, or you feel your back arching away from the ground, or you can lengthen that leg. Just be mindful of what's comfortable and working for your body. Your body's going to be totally different from my body. Your left is going to be totally different from your right. If that bottom leg is lengthened, try and get your heels down. Remember, if that's not comfortable, just bend your leg. You'll feel yourself release a little bit through your back. You should not be feeling this as pain anywhere, okay? If you're feeling pain, don't have as much tension on that lifted leg. So it's a stretch. Maybe it's uncomfortable, but it shouldn't hurt. All right, let's lower this leg down. Get rid of whatever you use to stretch. Now one foot over your opposite thigh. Staying on our back, keeping our abdominal muscles engaged. And then just, I'm going to show you with my hand, press this knee, not literally with your hand, but press this knee of the top leg away from your body, feeling a little bit of a stretch and an opening through your hip. If you'd like a little bit deeper of a stretch, you can lift that bottom leg up and you'll feel that even deeper through your hip. You can also always hug behind that thigh. So whatever's comfortable for you. So this is your preliminary stretch, lifting up a little bit more of a stretch, hands behind a little bit more. Remember, we're not tugging, okay? It's just to put a little bit of attention on that stretch, but not a pressure where you're tugging and potentially injuring yourself. So let's cross the other leg over. Push that knee a little further away from your body, feeling that stretch and opening through your hip, open through our upper body. Focus on your breath. Abdominal muscles engaged. You can lift that leg up. So notice I said abdominal muscles engaged. Just because we're stretching doesn't mean we're not mindful of what's happening in our body. So flex your top foot, and if you'd like to, you can hold behind this thigh. If that's too much of a stretch, and if having your leg is too much of a stretch, just lower it down. This isn't about being the most bendy person. It's just about giving your body the stretch that it needs. All right, from here, let's see, what do I have? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, staying on our back, find a comfortable spot. Your feet can either be bent, or if it's comfortable, I encourage you to lengthen your legs out. Toes can just kind of come out to the side slightly. And we're just going to take a few minutes to focus on some sounds that we hear in the room. So obviously you hear my voice. I want you to let yourself breathe at your natural pace. Feel almost as if you were sinking into the ground. So start with your heels. Let those heels just sink a little closer to the ground, up through your calves, relaxing the muscles in your calves and then all the way up your legs. Feel yourself melt towards the floor. So relax all the way up through your glutes. And then as you exhale, feel the back of your body sink into the floor. Down your arms to your fingers. You can wiggle your fingers a couple times and then just completely relax your fingers. Take another deep inhale, and then as you exhale, feel the muscles throughout your scalp relax. And then just feeling heavy on the floor here, as if you were one with the floor. Now take a few seconds to find some noises in the room. So that might be the air coming through the vents. It might be creaking. It might be children running around. It might be your own breath. Take a few minutes. I'm going to stop talking in a second here. Find a noise and just listen to that noise. Tune in on whatever you can hear that is the quietest noise in the room that you maybe never even noticed before. So now I'm going to stop talking and then give you a couple minutes here to just focus on that noise. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your shoulders a little bit, maybe bend your knees. And then from here, you can stay on the ground as long as you want, but I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna turn the video off, and that concludes your 2 weeks of 5 minutes a day. Next week we have something new. If you did at least some of these, then you now know you are capable of working out at home. You know you're capable of finding time for yourself, and you know hopefully that it feels good. So if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you for everybody who did these. Again, whether if it was one person, 10 people, doesn't really matter as long as at least one person did it. I know it helped me and gave me the opportunity to keep myself teaching, so thank you. And again, if you did even one of these, you're capable of working out at home. So you might be stuck at home. You probably are, because the whole world is right now, unless you're an essential worker, but you are capable. And this is what I do every day. I don't teach myself classes because I don't find that motivating, but I do my videos. And if anybody wants any more information on that, I do my morning workouts. And any program I've done ranges from 20 minutes to like 45 minutes. I find more than 45 minutes, I personally don't enjoy it. I start to lose my focus. But if you're thinking, oh, maybe I can do this and I want to keep moving, just let me know and I can help set you up with some longer routines. But anyways, this is your Sunday relaxation, meditation, stretch, and do it as many times as you want today or throughout the week. But there you go. Thank you.